Hi everybody, here's a little bit of information on exercise 9. This is your last exercise. I'm giving you 2 weeks to do this exercise and it is worth double points. What I'm expecting is that this is going to be the best writing you've done this semester, most detailed, most specific, and most smart in terms of what you're choosing to cover. After this and while we're doing group projects, I will be meeting with many of you one-on-one to discuss this exercise, to give you some last feedback on where you're excelling as a writer and where I think you'll want to place particular focus as you move towards your final project. So this is a combination of 2 exercises, and they're both designed to give a kind of life story. So this is, you're thinking about one character and the big things they've done and the small things they've done. So it's a combination. The first thing I want you to do, though, before you even start thinking about this character, is to do a diagnostic of what stories you've written this semester. What kinds of plots have you gravitated towards? What kinds of characters? Are they all the same? Are they different? And I want you to think about somebody who is not like this, so you're really stretching here to some place that you haven't been. This is really important. This may mean you do a little research. You might talk to somebody else. They don't have to be diametrically opposed, but I don't want them to fall in the same general range as the rest of your other characters. Once you've decided that, take a little bit of time to sketch out your character's life. It doesn't have to be every minute, but it should be the big points of their life, not necessarily the most trope ones. It's not necessarily get married, do this, live, born, die. It could be, as in the novel Stoner, focusing on a conversation or on their academic career. It could be many things, but sketch out their life with some data. The more you can imagine, the more that you have to work with. Okay? Once you have that sketching done, and notice how in the Williams book, in the description of Stoner that's in the exercise, even the summary has concrete telling details. Everything is specific. So now you're going to do your writing in 2 parts. One is summary at the most macro level, and one is scene at the most micro level. So the first thing you're going to do is write a summary of their life. It's not from birth to death here. In Stoner, it really starts when they go to a school, when they join as a university student. So for you, you're going to have to figure out when really to make your summary start. It could be when they're 6, it could be when they're 12, it could be when they're 75. Not sure, but choose a place that is interesting and informative. From there, write a 3rd-person story that covers a large percentage of their life. So it might go from when they're 6 to when they're 60. You're writing 300 words that gives, in concrete details, a really good sense of their life story. Now, this may not all be plot, right? In the organization of Stoner, it's, part of what's telling is the inscription that happens when they're dead on the book. It could be the detail of associate professor. It's not so much what this person did. We don't know who they married or anything about their love life. Still, it's a good, detailed evocation of a life here. So once you've written 300 words that covers all that, I want you to pick a point in the middle of that and write a single scene, very short in terms of time, that happens in another 300 words. So literally you're going to have half of their life story, and then you're going to insert this block of scene that's 300 words, and then you're going to finish their life story with another 150 words. I don't necessarily want you to choose this scene that is even in the summary. There doesn't have to be overlap. It could be a scene that is seems incidental, but is indicative of their life. So it could be a scene of them just going to buy a piece of beef at the store. It could be the day that they voted for a particular candidate. It could be the moment that they realized they were getting older and what they did that day. In any case, you're digging into that scene in very much detail that still tells us much about their life. All right, that is the exercise. So it's 600 words total. Great, clear writing. You've got a fairly long set of examples in this exercise because this is taken from the Brian Kitely book. So read those examples and see what you can gain from them. Here's one about Stoner And here's the Kleist example. And, have fun with this. It doesn't have to be explosive. It just has to be specific. All right, your last exercise. Drink is on me.